Welcome back to the Red Debate. It's Chris and Tom here. Liverpool have lost again, and the question, has Liverpool turned it around this season, I think has been emphatically answered. No, we haven't. We're in free fall. The questions are getting louder, angrier, more urgent. Tom, how are you feeling?
I've always been fairly loud on this topic, mate. Well,
you have?
in recent weeks, just for mate. I'm going straight from the start, but we should have sacked him after the PSV game.
I still don't agree with that.
No.
So let's set some context here. You have been slot out for a while. Those who have listened to the pod probably know that I'm a little bit more, what would the right word be? Forgiving?
You're more lenient.
Yeah. I just think even though we've been on a better run recently, the performances haven't been there. Like, we were poor against West Ham despite winning 5-2. We were awful on Tuesday against Wolves. Awful. Like, it was such a bad performance. Given what's at stake, that we could have gone into... Well, we could, having now, obviously, the game week has finished and everyone else has dropped points apart from Chelsea, we would have been third if we'd have won that game.
Yeah, it's a poor week for us, really, isn't it? If you look at all of the fixtures as a whole, based on the fact we're going for the Champions League places, it's a really poor week for us.
Well, good in that United lost and Villa lost, but poor in the fact that it was a real chance for us to capitalise and take control of that Champions League battle.
That's what I mean, mate. Yeah, we failed to capitalise on a situation that's presented itself. Like, Villa are in free fall, which, to be fair to you, you called a while ago. You seemed to suggest that it was Villa's place that was ours for the taking.
Yeah,
I think, to be fair to you, mate, you even suggested that back when they were getting mentioned in title challenge territory. But as the XG philosophy has pointed out, they seem to be regressing to the mean a little bit. But yeah, missed opportunity, mate. Really, and it's the reason I've been so adamantly of the view that we need to change the manager up is that the style of play is making it so dull to watch us. Yeah. I'm so bored of watching us play at the moment, and I can't actually remember a period like this when I almost can't be fucked to watch us.
So, well, I think my change of opinion is heavily linked to that, because you were fuming about that since the start of that horrible run, and we kind of went back to basics, didn't we? Obviously, the Salah situation happened. See, I felt that was the right thing to do, because we were just shipping goals left, right and centre. But what hasn't happened now that we've picked up a bit of form is, like, we're not progressive enough anymore. We're still in that mindset of losing to PSV and Nottingham Forest. So
yeah,
the improvement that I was expecting once we steady the ship a little bit just hasn't happened. And I think we're still fragile. We're not as fragile as we were back in November, December time, but we're still incredibly fragile. Like, the Wolves goal, the winner, is an awful goal to concede. Like, absolutely dire from senior players: Van Dijk, Alisson, Curtis, yeah, like,
Alisson didn't want it there at all. Yeah, Alisson didn't want it there at all. And it's a lot of it stems from the squad size, which I know has always been your argument, but he's got to drag Gravenberch, because Gravenberch's a walking red card, like 40 minutes into the game, which is poor from him. So
Gravenberch was poor as well. We've been really positive about Gravenberch on this podcast, but his form has also declined massively in this way that we're playing at the moment.
Same as what happened last season, mate. He had a great first 5 months, and then he just looks cooked. Yeah. He looks exhausted, and his style of play is that sort of languid, relaxed on the ball style of play that looks, if I'm honest, it looks like he's not putting a proper shift in when it's not going right for him. Yeah. And that style of football has always got to counter that. But beyond just how he appears on the eye, he just hasn't been very good lately, has he? He hasn't been controlling games. And the fact it's against Wolves, appreciate we're away from home, but this is a Wolves who are rock bottom of the league, and we set up to play for 0-0 at half time. It's not good enough for me. We're defending champions, for fuck's sake. You see how excited Rob Edwards was to beat us?
Yeah.
Liverpool Football Club should not be playing against bottom of the Premier League, playing for 0-0 at half time. It's not good enough.
It really was a dire display, wasn't it? Like, even players who have been like gems in the dark, and I'd put Ekitike in that, awful. Yeah. Like, everyone was poor. It just felt like there was no attacking intent, no intensity. They all look completely goosed. Ekitike looked exhausted.
Yeah, he did. And to be fair, he's flying the flag on his own.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's his fault necessarily,
No.
but it does show you the levels of where I think that little purple patch that he had and where he actually is. You forget that he's still only 23. He's actually very raw. He's definitely not used to the physicality of playing 2-3 games a week and playing every week. So I think I'm fine with him. He's not the problem in any stretch of the way, but like that attacking three, Gakpo, Ekitike, Salah, for I would say 10 games straight now. Well, basically, obviously Salah hasn't scored for all those games, but he did.
Till the Wolves game,
He did. But the goal was horrid, really
I
horrid.
think it's a classic Salah goal. I mean, it was a nice goal. I think I was texting you and my brother at the time saying
Yeah.
Salah's not playing well here, and then he goes and scores. But then shortly after that, at 1-1, when he needs to just slip Szoboszlai in and he doesn't make the pass, it's so frustrating. So frustrating.
I'm fully on the Salah and Slot out. Like Salah, so both of them are legends in my view. Slot
as well.
I think he won the league, mate. He won the league. Of course he is. He's one of two managers who's won the Premier League. Whatever happens, he's a legend. He delivered what only Jurgen Klopp did once.
Agree to disagree, or at least agree to.
You don't think Arne Slot's a legend of Liverpool?
He can't be mentioned in the same breath of legend as Mo Salah. But I see your point.
Of course, different. Different. Not even comparable. But I'm done with both of them. That's my point. I'm really done with both of them.
So I think Salah on business makes sense on so many levels to move on in the summer.
Yeah.
Give him a solid farewell. Thank him for his unbelievable time with the club. Make a bit of money from him. And let him go out with his head held relatively high. I mean, this is his only ever season where he hasn't done really, really quite good numbers. Yeah. And his numbers are still all right. But yeah, I think I've heard other podcasts talk about it. We need to be creative in the summer and not go into it and sort of consider Frimpong a possible right-sided attacker and therefore not do proper business. Because we're crying out for some speed down the sides.
Yeah, the lack of speed and the wing is criminal for us.
Yeah.
Gakpo,
back to your Ekitike point, just quickly. I think we're probably seeing why the vast majority of the football world deemed Isak to be our go-to guy and Ekitike to be likely not his backup but our second choice option, because Ekitike has delivered almost exactly what the Frankfurt fans told us he would, that he'd be really fun, he's inconsistent, you'll like him as a person, he'll be great to watch, but he's not your consistent output kind of footballer. I'm not saying Isak is either, because he was streaky even at his best for Newcastle, but I think we've certainly missed Isak, and it feels like we've said a number of times like his return could well save our season. Not happy at all with how things are going, mate. Would you sack him now? Or do you still think, despite this, he gets the end of the season?
So I think he gets the end of the season.
Do you want him to?
No, I would sack him now. No, I think. I just think it's crying out for us to come third. It couldn't have been a better setup this season. Obviously, I'm taking the title chase out of the equation completely, but everyone is shit. If we can't come third in this league, it's an absolute disgrace, I think.
Yeah. You know what's interesting as well, this flashed through my mind earlier. There was a point last time we played Wolves, I think they were almost statistically as bad as that Derby County side. They were on record, sort of on trajectory to be the worst mathematical team in Premier League history before Rob Edwards. It is mad watching them, thinking that they're rock bottom of the Premier League when they've got João Gomez and Andre, who've both started together for Brazil in the past.
Yeah.
Now, I know this doesn't fit with my narrative that the Premier League's shit at the moment, and the Arsenal fans listening, or Arsenal fan listening, will like this, but Wolves are not a terrible team, are they?
No, they're not. No. And they did play well against us, I thought.
And I'm not saying that we gave them the respect that they deserved, but they're not a bad side. However, we could just got overrun in the midfield.
We made it so easy for them, though. Like Gravenberch, McAllister, it just McAllister's season is just a constant source of frustration for me. How has
Yeah,
he gone from that swashbuckling, like snapping at your ankles type tempo setting midfielder that he was to this, where he's just like off the ball? He's terrible. He's just terrible.
he looks unfit, doesn't he? Yeah,
But how is he
yeah.
still unfit in March?
Did you see that stats bomb radar comparison of his 3 seasons? It's
No.
really interesting because he was a very well-rounded statistical footballer when
Yeah.
in his first season, like meeting all the metrics on the stats bomb radar, and then the radar just gets smaller and oh gosh, that's in my camera. The radar just gets smaller and smaller.
So what do you do with
With
him?
passing seasons.
Because
So
obviously
yeah,
there's rumours that Madrid might want him. I would
so
possibly cash in on him.
yeah, and I think Michael Edwards will lead the charge on that. We know Edwards loves flipping players when they start
Mm.
to decline statistically, and you know, our recruitment has been a bit strange, for want of a better phrase. But I do think their basic principles align with that, like buy low, sell at the highest point. I think I just think we're probably gonna see another season of summer of massive overhaul. I could
I
so
really
easily.
think though that's so dependent on us getting Champions League.
Do you? Yeah.
Did you not see that write up? I think it was on the BBC yesterday about if we miss it, it's going to cost us about 120 million.
Mm, yeah, and I mean, you'd hope that a club of our magnitude is prepared for that.
Yeah,
But I mean, I'm
that
looking at
was
our
the positive
targets.
point. They were saying that Liverpool are one of the only clubs that can
Mm,
actually deal with it quite well without a real impact on the financial penalties side of things.
yeah. I mean, if you look at our targets, the ones that people realistically think would revolutionise our squad. Now, I'm not saying I've watched him week in, week out, but the likes of Jan Diomande at Leipzig, Barcola is someone that we've seen play a fair few times. You think about those two, perhaps Barcola wouldn't come to Europa League football, but players that you could realistically look at, like you were just about to touch on Gakpo then,
Mm.
players you could realistically look at and think these would change us significantly. They're not. They don't feel like unattainable players to me.
No, Barcola I think would be personally if we didn't get Champions League.
Because of the
But
wages, or because he wouldn't come to a champion to a.
I think both. Not maybe not the wages, but potentially both. Yeah. But
Yeah,
I would rather be looking maybe at Elise, like
yeah,
that level. I almost feel like I'd be pro Barcola, but I think we could do better.
yeah. I mean, Elise is the benchmark potential signing for me. He's a Champions League footballer, isn't he? He's an absolute gold dust footballer. But yeah, I think you're spot on. We're not going to sign the likes of him if we don't get into the Champions League.
And then what do you do with
But
Gakpo? Like literally,
mm,
I would have him in the squad, I think, but I think Gakpo is the perfect encapsulation of everything that's going wrong with Slot at the moment. This obsession with just playing him through horrible form, I
yeah,
think
and
he's going to die in that sword, isn't he?
he is, yeah. And I think, like I've said before, I think the longer Slot stays at Liverpool, the worse the sort of more damage he's creating to his own legacy. I think possibly the most damning thing that Slot could do is continue to not play the young lads.
Yeah.
Now, don't forget, gone are the days where the youngsters sat on your bench are all local lads that are diehard and support the club. Let's not lie about it. The likes of Trey Naoni, he grew up in the Midlands, didn't he? He's not a Liverpool fan. He's here because we're a big club. You see his face at the end of the game.
No.
Now, I mean, let's say it had panned to, what is he, 19, 20. If you'd panned to a 20-year-old fan and they'd looked as gutted as him, it would make sense based on the fact that the emotional ties to the club are there. Naoni just looked fucking livid. And I think we're in real danger of the next generation of great footballers that we sort of recruited all these youngsters at our peak, really, didn't we? The likes of Naoni, Inga Moha, Josh Abe, etc.
Yeah.
We're not going to keep them if that pathway disappears for them.
So are you saying you would be starting Engamala instead of Gakpo, which I think a lot of people would probably agree
Yeah,
with, and you'd
yeah.
be playing Trey Ione over McAllister?
I wouldn't be giving Trey Naoni 0 or 2 minutes, put it that way. There've been various different game states where we could have given him 15 minutes. Various different. Training, he could easily be sat on 300 minutes so far this season in the league, easily. And I think
I'm
there's an
less
argument
convinced
for.
about that one, but yeah, I know what you mean.
I think I rate Noni higher than you do, but yeah,
It's
you
more.
see
It's more
my
if
point.
if you give him more minutes, you take minutes away from someone like Curtis Jones, who's already annoyed that he's not getting enough minutes.
Yeah, the Curtis and Slot thing feels personal, to be honest. And I know there were those rumours online that it was after that. Was it which game was it where he was seen recorded from the touchline, basically shouting back at Slot that the tactics don't make sense or something along those lines?
Yeah,
And then we
I
just
can't
don't see
remember
him again
which
for
game it
ages,
was.
and he's ill. But yeah, because he hasn't really used Curtis properly since then, has he?
No,
And dare I say it, Curtis justified why with his cameo against Wolves. He was terrible.
he's a bit like that though, James, isn't he? I feel like he's good when he gets into rhythm, and unfortunately, most of that form has been disrupted by injury over his career. But this one was an odd one because he was playing a lot, and then just lost his place to McAllister and has barely featured recently. So
Yeah.
that kind of performance doesn't surprise me from him at all.
It was interesting because on the co-coms, McCoist was basically saying like, "Oh, there's a player that could be disappointed with his lack of minutes recently," and then he goes and fucking gives Allison a hospital pass, and Allison
Yeah,
does his customary poor
it
clearance.
was really
It,
poor from Ali, wasn't it?
it was neutral fans. I mean, Allison's one of the few players that everyone in the world of football is willing to accept as an absolute all-timer.
Yeah,
Van Dijk, people want to seem to disagree. Salah, people definitely want to disagree. Alisson, the neutrals seem to sort of give him his due respect. But one thing that the neutrals don't consider is that Alisson does that every fucking game.
yeah.
Alisson does it, doesn't he? And even at his
He's
best,
for a Brazilian. He's actually really poor with his feet.
yeah, he is. He does that so frequently, but I don't know, mate. I don't know. Do you think we'll get top 5 that it's likely to now need to be?
Yeah, I do. I still think we'll come third.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Our fixtures are until the final couple of games. We've got by far the nicest run of fixtures, I believe. Chelsea's are horrible. Villa's are horrible. I think Villa are
But
in free fall anyway, like worse than us. United are not a good team. They're really
no.
not. You know, they're sure they've gone on this little winning streak until yesterday, but they're awful in some of those games.
Did you see Scholes' Instagram post?
Yeah, that was bizarre, wasn't it? Absolutely
What
bizarre.
what did he say? Something along the lines
Something
of, yeah,
about
sure.
Michael digging out Michael Carrick, wasn't he? Michael's so special because they've been crap for 4 games or something like
I mean, he's not wrong, but I thought they were mates.
that. Yeah, really odd. And then just a random bit of love for Tonali, who is
In the
great
same
to be fair.
message. Yeah, yeah. Would you take him?
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'll take Guimaraes as well. I mean, at this stage, I'd probably take fucking Joe Linton as well, but definitely Guimaraes and Tonali. But yeah, I don't know, mate. So, but do you not think that easier fixtures on paper, it means fuck all at the moment? I feel like we're better against good sides.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing, isn't it? That like it's incredibly frustrating that on paper we should be battering these teams, and that's what I think the thing I said at the start about have we turned the corner. The emphatic answer is no, is because we're still capable of both swings of the direction. Like that performance against Wolves is the worst you could possibly see from us. And yet it wouldn't surprise me still if we go and do good things in the Champions League.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's my point, isn't it? Yeah. Like when teams try and play football, Slot's a really good tactical manager when the opponent wants to play football.
I thought Wolves
Um,
were like fairly progressive against us though.
they didn't seem to have a plan until Toulouse and one of their many Gomez. The lad who scored the second goal, the first goal, what's his name? R. Gomez. One
Yeah,
of their many
can't
Gomez.
can't remember. Yeah, it's Gomez,
Yeah.
Gomez, Gomez. And then I
And
saw a
so,
tweet. It was ironic that Joe Gomez got the deflection on, and it was different Gomez. It was like there's 4 Gomez's on the pitch or something like that.
yeah, yeah. I wonder what Liverpool fans who aren't on Twitter, they miss out on the. Do you remember the furor around that Andre Tindade?
No.
Do you not remember when Twitter was going mad for us potentially signing him, Andre, for
Oh
what,
yeah,
Borussia? I think.
that was years ago though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but they sort of stick in the memory for active Twitter fans. I wonder if non-Twitter Liverpool fans knew about all that
Who
because he
did
felt
Wolves
like
buy
there
him
was there
from?
was a
It was
time.
from Brazil, wasn't it?
Yeah, Fluminense, wasn't it?
Was it from? Yeah. I'm glad we didn't
Yeah,
get him to be. He's tiny. That's what I don't
he's
like
good
about
though.
him. He is good,
Yeah.
but he's too small, I think. But
Mm.
yeah,
We
they completely bossed our midfield, and that surprised me because I thought it might be backs against the wall and just lumping the ball long, but I don't think it was like that. And actually, it was the way that they played against us was kind of the game that we would have wanted them to play. That they gave it a real go,
Yeah, they did.
and part of that is that we invited them to do it, I think. But still, it wasn't sort of like a snatch and grab where we dominated possession and they just went and won it late at the end. They fully deserved their win, I thought, which just tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah. Did you when the game state was at 1-1? What did you think would happen?
I thought we'd go on and win it.
Mm.
Did you?
Yeah. No, I did. I did think we'd go on and win it. Yeah, it was a
But
fucking mad game, wasn't it? Because
what
till 60,
the only thing
it
I
was
would say
like
though is that we've got such poor options to go and do that. Like you're bringing on Chiesa and stuff, and it's painful to watch this Liverpool team.
Chiesa's rubbish, mate.
He
I
is
like
terrible. Yeah, he's terrible. Lovely
for all
guy,
the
but terrible.
heat I've given Slot, he's completely justified in his treatment of Chiesa. I feel like the Anfield loves Chiesa because the song and
Yeah,
because of 2021 Federico Chiesa, who was electric
yeah.
for a period when we all watched him for the national team. But yeah, he's crap, isn't he? But it's the second game that we've been dominated in midfield. Like Mateus Fernandes at West Ham, another one that if they go down,
Yeah,
I'd take him and João Gomez. Mateus Fernandes is quality every time he plays against us. And he dominated us. Like the 5-2 flattered us massively against West Ham, didn't it?
it did. It did. So I mean, so what do you do now? What would you do? We've got obviously Wolves again in the cup,
Yeah.
then Galatasaray, then Spurs.
Mm.
In my view, we've got to win all three of them. Definitely got to beat Spurs. We've got to take something against Galatasaray for the second leg. And well, I don't. Given we've lost to Wolves in the league, the thought of losing twice in 4 days against them would be astonishing. Like that, surely
Yeah,
that's not going to happen.
no. I text a neutral fan. Well, not neutral because he supports Arsenal, but I text someone before the last Wolves game saying, I think we will lose to them once and then batter them. And I probably would have rathered it the other way around. I'd rather have
I'd
beaten them in
much
the league and cup.
agree. Same.
Yeah, but I think the beginning of my disappointment with Slot was when he threw the League Cup game, mate. So I think I don't know. You never know whether they read what the online discourse is, but I was fucking livid at him throwing the League Cup game because the league was done by then.
Yeah.
You got to hope he doesn't do the same for the FA Cup. But then at the
He
same
can't.
time,
He doesn't have the luxury of doing that now.
he doesn't have the players really,
Yeah,
does he? Because
no.
he's going to have to play like Kieran Morrison again, etc. If he wants to rest players, he'll have to go Calvin Ramsey, Kieran Morrison. Do you know what I mean? Like a very, very much weakened side.
There's no way he's going to do that. I think it will be a very similar team to the team that played on Tuesday.
I'd start Trey.
Yeah, they're the obvious changes, like switching Ngamoa, Nioni, Robertson, like give them starts. Chiesa.
Yeah. Did you see that statistic about, Slot's roll of the dice when we're chasing a scoreline towards the end of the game? He brings Kanate off and puts Chiesa on. Have you seen how significantly that's affected us?
What, badly?
We've lost more. There was an Opta statistic about the number of 90th minute losing goals we've conceded.
It's the most ever in a season, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he keeps dragging Kanate off, which is crazy.
Yeah. He's desperate, isn't he? He's just desperate now. And it all feels a bit desperate. There's not a lot of... For all of his tactical genius that he can do, I do think he's feeling the pressure.
Yeah.
and he doesn't
Oh
have the
yeah.
answers. He doesn't know what to do because everything
Yeah.
he does is under such a big microscope now because of our form. Like you drop Salah again, huge news story. You drop Ekatike, like just not going to do it. You drop Gakpo and play the kids. Like the minute we lose a game, everyone's going to be on him again about like you can't play the kids. I just don't think there's
Yeah.
anything he can do that's going to win anymore.
Mm.
And that for me is kind of like that's it.
Yeah.
Obviously, if we went and won 6-7 games in a row, that narrative would change. But I'm going to assume this is going to be our form now for the rest of the season. We'll win a couple, we'll drop points.
Mm.
The only thing he can really do is win the Champions League, basically.
What about FA Cup?
I don't think that's
Wait, I
enough.
no, I don't see it happening, or I don't agree.
I
Yeah,
do
I
see.
agree.
I could
It's
see it
not.
happening, but I don't think it's
Mm.
enough. If we won the FA Cup, came fifth, and got knocked out in the next round of the Champions League to whoever, I'm going to assume we beat Galatasaray, but is it Chelsea or PSG?
Chelsea,
I don't
PSG.
think
Yeah.
that's enough to save his job. The only thing that could save his job is winning the Champions League, in my view now. And I'm going
Do you
to
think
assume
it?
that we get into the Champions League anyway.
Mm. Yeah, I mean he's toast if we don't get into the Champions League for next season.
Yeah.
I think he's probably gone in the summer regardless. I've thought that for a while.
Even if we
Um,
won the Champions League.
uh, yeah,
That would be a bold sacking.
Di Matteo. Was it Di Matteo that won the Champions League for Chelsea and then they got rid of him? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So predictions. Well, we're not going to record again until after the Spurs game now. So give me
Mm.
three key games for us in a week. Give me your predictions for all three of them. I'm going to go win, win, win.
Yeah, yeah. I'll stick to my guns. I think we'll beat Wolves in the cup, although it's more important for them than us, arguably. I think we'll beat Wolves in the cup. Oh, we'll beat Spurs,
I mean,
and
if we don't
then
beat Spurs, it would be an absolute disaster given the form they're on.
yeah, the morale's lower for them than it is for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then next fixture is it Galatasaray? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hard to call that one, isn't it? Um, despite my negative outlook, I think I'll go 3-1 on the bounce as well.
There you go. Trust in Arnie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. This is a season on the brink. No holding back now. No more excuses. Tell us how you're feeling, please, on our social channel. Which is, Tom?
At the Red Debate.
There you go.
Nice and
And we
simple.
will, yeah, nice and simple. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening, folks.